Good evening, all. Welcome back to the Midnight Dispatch, where we're going to be resuming our shenanigans with Savannah by Night, our Vampire the Masquerade chronicle, where no bad decisions have ever been made by anyone ever at all. Never happened.
Oh, thank
So we're
God, I
just
was
lying
worried.
now?
That is correct.
Well, ever since Ellie got a dot of subterfuge, I thought I would try as the storyteller.
That does sound like
On
one
theme.
dot of subterfuge.
It is, of course, not the only thing we do here. Smuggles, take it away.
Nothing else happens here.
Okay.
There's nothing else that ever happens. I'm doing more Smoggle Screams actually next Monday night. I think, allegedly, is going to be the finale of at least this run of Silent Hill F. So I'll be playing that game. Yes, everyone type in F in chat. I already see you going to your keyboards. If with that being the end of that particular game, if there are any horror games that you would like to see me scream at, please go ahead. There is a Smoggle Screams channel in our Discord, so feel free to put out your suggestions there, and I will either look into that game and maybe it'll come up later on, or I will pretend that your message got lost and banned for some reason, and I'll never speak of that game again. So it'll be
Challenge accepted.
Anyway, but that is everything that is happening next week. But what I will also mention is that Deadbeats has now wrapped up, but in the first 2 weeks in August, because we will be on break in general for Midnight Dispatch, the YouTube channel will be getting updated periodically with the episodes from this past arc of the Deadbeats. So that will not be no content happening. That will be running up on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch that arc if you missed any episodes. Then listen, Martel. Martel gifted me Darkwood knowing that I would be so obsessed with that game, and I am so upset because I am gonna lose many hours over it. Anyway, that's all.
Speaking of Martel, where are you on the occasional Friday?
On the occasional Friday, and I was actually just looking. I don't think we have our next session planned, but we have been playing Star Wars 5e. We just went inside of a building that we blew up, and there were still people in there, so we of course fixed that. And yeah, it's been a good time. We are now looking for a ship that is called the Rancor, which we're hoping that's true, because if it's not a ship, then we're all going to be very angry.
And did you mention where you're doing this at?
No, I did not. Knights of Silver Moon is where we do that. We'll have a date for you as soon as we find one.
Fair enough. And Helena, where can we find more of your lovely artwork that has featured in the Discord and has been used in the intro for our beloved Deadbeats?
Yes. Feel free to follow my art Instagram at kittycrafto_art. Do a bunch of TTRPG stuff over there, pet art, painting, a lot of other shenanigans. Feel free to give me a shout over there.
Okay. And if there are no other announcements to make, let's tell a fucking vampire story, shall we? Last time on Savannah by Night, Ellie began the investigation proper into Lore and her dealings. However, the many myriad legitimate and legally dubious layers of bureaucratic obfuscation prevented more immediate headway. Though names, institutions, and patterns did begin to yield themselves to Ellie's persistence. But as the young Nosferatu began to put some of these disparate pieces together, they were summoned to meet Amon. The comparatively alien elder pressed on Ellie's reticence, revealing the young Nosferatu's protectiveness of information regarding the other New Bloods. Ellie found their bravery in asking what exactly does this eerie patron give them in return, to which he answered, life. But either through curiosity or simply playing the game, Amon bid them to present what else they would ask for. Ellie requested the private haven of Lore, to which Amon merely laughed. Or was that the sound of the undulating, insect-layered wall? Poppy started her night with playing patron manager to Heidi, a young mortal artist she had become entangled with and had invested in her success. First and foremost, through simple encouragement. Second, through setting up, managing, and overseeing an upcoming showcase of her gently erotic art at an appropriately sensual venue. Cora garnered further sword lessons with her primogen Matilda, who proceeded to methodically walk through and correct every mistaken step she took when she had attempted to cleave through the alligator at the start of the week. As this only served to further prepare her for a potential run-in with a Sabbat, Cora found it prudent to ask about the current state of affairs regarding the violent sect. Matilda did not mince words and cautioned the younger Malkavian that whilst the Sabbat ebb and flow, vigilance was the only topic worth discussing. Artem once again had been tasked with scouring the fringes of the marshes for Sabbat, though this time in the company of Alden and Vern. While Alden went ashore on one of the many islands, Artem and Vern took a moment to discuss the feral nature of most of their humanoid prey and the uncomfortable implications of the few that can actually speak. As the trio began to make their way back to Wormslow, Artem pressed Alden about Chris and her progress, arguing for the case that night school might be the best way for her to reclaim some semblance of the life she saw for herself. The coterie coalesced at Elysium to discuss their most recent events and findings regarding the Toreador Primogen and her dealings. Discovering some interesting overlaps in names and interests, they resolved to start independently investigating those potential avenues. Which is where we resume at Elysium. Most, if not all of you, have some conversations to have. Some are already preset. Some you may want to embark on. And some may be tackled in tandem if so desired. I believe both Poppy and Cora have wanted to talk to Edward at some point. There's confusion. How can I help you?
I can't remember what I wanted to talk to Edward about.
Pick his brain about Redlow.
Yes, thank you.
There's also the pretense of the heist, because some time has passed, some things have ebbed and flowed. It may be opportune to check in with that again.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to start with Artem. As you were a little more quiet during the group scene, not out of disinterest, but given the things you were dealing with and seeing compared to what they were. And other things, I'm assuming, on your mind. Is there anyone that you wanted to seek out while you were at the big house tonight?
I think I might ask if Mr. Sokolov is around.
You send him a text, do you call? Or do you
Um,
simply try and ask?
Yeah, I'll ask. I imagine.
Atherton's always making his
Yeah.
rounds.
Right.
Do you go into the main hall? Do you...
Yeah, I'll go to the main hall.
Okay. As is so often, when you see somebody walk in or somebody tells him someone has walked in, he will, with time, if not immediately, gravitate in your direction. Seems to be his usual role of see where people need to be directed, answer some questions, facilitate, and no better way to do so than check in who's walking through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Autumn, how can I help you this evening?
Just looking for Mr. Sokolov, sir. Is he around?
I do believe he is somewhere in the main hall. Would you like to go and find him, or shall I try and fetch him?
Oh, I'll find him. Thank you very much.
Of course. Before Artem is able to walk away, there's one little final call from Atherton. Was it a happy hunt this evening?
Little boring.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Rob.
You do eventually find Misha Sokolov, the venture travel agent, milling around in the hall, where most kindred tend to be, at least if they are looking to observe court or participate in it. He seems to be off to the side, more so paying attention rather than actively engaging at the moment. You have seen him in the past be sociable, but not the most affable of all kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Though with you, he at least seems congenial. And you are usually used to seeing him in some form of suit, if not business casual, and the latter is how you find him this evening. Do you greet him in your shared Slavic dialogue or in English?
Yeah, it'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the whole thing will be in.
Understood.
We'll just call it Eastern European.
Jovik.
Sokolov, how have your hunts been?
Fruitful, but I am glad for the gradual reprieve. Mostly overseeing my usual routes, as one can imagine. And yours?
About the same. Been out with the old man, not finding much.
And what do you make of this?
I don't know yet. I
Wise
doubt
answer.
they're gone.
No, they never are. Not for long, anyways. But I imagine that is not the real reason you wanted to seek me out tonight.
I was just wondering if you had heard any more. It's been a while. I know we've both been quite busy.
Walk with me.
Sure.
And he will politely usher you out one of the side doors into sort of the side exterior of the house. Staying on sort of that wooden porch terrace walkway that lines the exterior of the house, but enough to acquire a certain amount of privacy. Granted, you're hard-pressed to probably find anyone else in town that properly speaks your shared language. But It seems less about worrying about being overheard and more erring on the side of polite discretion.
Mm-hmm.
Your matters are your matters. I have some updates, but it is mixed.
Mm.
I do have a fix of where she is. She is upright. But you tell me if this is in keeping with her person as you know her.
Mm-hmm.
Violently reticent?
Yeah.
Hmm. She has not killed or injured anyone that is of any consequence or notice. So, all in all, she seems well poised where she is. She seems to have found more of your clan,
Good.
your Brujah.
That makes sense.
It is unclear if these are Camarilla or Anarch, or some blend of both. Georgia, the country, is a bit of a strange basket, as one might imagine.
Interesting thing to think about.
Though they seem to be doing their own thing, not causing too much trouble except for those who may wander in, and she is, I think, understandably unwilling to listen to people making promises.
Well, as soon as I can, I'd like to try to make contact, but I understand that is not something that's easily done.
Your best bet would be to venture out there yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I could have someone acquire her and bring her here, but I think neither one of you would be appreciative of such an endeavor.
No. The idea it's more important to get her to stay than to just get her here.
Perhaps what might ameliorate the situation. Do you have particular words or object that could be passed along to her to show the good faith of the intent of the people approaching?
Yeah, I do. He's going to take the watch off of his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to look at it. He's going to hand it to Oklo.
He's going to give it a glance before the blossom of realization shows on his face. I can see how this would send a message or two. And he will take out a handkerchief and neatly fold it around the watch before putting it back in his pocket. I cannot guarantee a timeline of when this will arrive. I cannot guarantee what message will come in return. But I will see it done.
There's a word, too.
Mm.
And he'll look around. Kind of lean in. And he will say a word. One that I don't know how to pronounce.
Okay.
But
do you want to put it in chat? And do you want to put it in the Discord
I'll
so
do
it doesn't
that.
get lost?
But yeah, it's basically one of the ways that one of the things that Zoya would have called them. A word that they don't understand at all, but that they know means them. Somehow.
Okay.
I'll get that in the Discord when my turn is over here.
Sure. Hmm. This should go some way towards remediating. But as always, I do not make promises.
Helped me a great deal without promises, so.
Is there anything else that I should be aware of?
My end.
Well, if there is nothing else, I should check in with a few folk.
Sure. Have a good night.
And he will, he was about to just reach out, shake hand, and go your separate ways for the evening. Poppy. Actually, just one sec. Was there anything else you wanted to add before I switched over?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Sorry. Poppy. You had, let's look at my list here. Sebastian as your primary for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Do you simply text him? Do you go to
Yeah.
Atherton? Okay.
I'll text him and see if he's around
Mhm.
and if I can steal him for a sec.
Mm-hmm. You get back. Main hall upstairs.
Excellent. Before Poppy leaves the gazebo area, she'll pull Cora aside and say, "Hey, did you want to go talk with Edward together, maybe in a little bit?"
Sure, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Awesome. I'll text you when I'm done. I'm just gonna be talking with Sebastian for a moment.
Okay, perfect. We'll just meet in the main area of the house then and go from there.
Sounds good. See you soon. And she will go meet Sebastian.
Okay. He is leaning against the banister that overlooks the main floor, and wearing a almost sapphire blue business casual suit with a black tie that at first looks very plain until the right light reveals that sort of slight oil slick chameleon sheen.
Cool.
And he is sort of observing his phone, and then as you walk up, he puts it away and stands up straight and, Poppy, good to see you again.
Good to see you. I'm glad to catch you just for a second. I wanted to thank you for everything you did for my birthday party. That was such a wonderful evening. And yeah, I'm just very grateful for your work.
Oh, well, it is always nice to be appreciated.
And I wanted to also thank you for, the discretion of it all. It's something I really admire and something that I'm learning, the kind of grace that comes with discretion.
It is highly valued among our kind. I think you can imagine why.
Oh, yes, I think so. I absolutely know. I wanted to pick your brain about something. And she kind of leans on the banister and kind of looks down and watches people.
As you look down, you do see the prince, who you come to realize isn't as well dressed as Sebastian is at the moment. He tends towards his nice, but still more comparatively rustic blue collar type things where he's got the sort of wool pullover and nice slacks, but still slacks. It doesn't look like he's dressed for court, and the blazer that's sort of been adopted as he came in. But he's with Alden and Matilda as they are sort of filtering into a room with Vega.
I wanted to get some advice from you. Because it seems like you're a self-made man as much as anybody can be with your businesses that I will frequent at some point. What do you... If you could tell a young Toreador how to get started with making a name for themselves, what would you say?
There's a slight pause before a small chuckle as he turns and leans the back of his hips against the banister and crosses his arms, knowing what you are not. I never had any delusion about being some great artist, as is the trap that so many young Toreador fall into.
Right.
But art can be many different things. It's all up to interpretation, is it not?
It is.
As we discussed last time, vaudeville, correct?
Yeah.
I was never one of the individuals up on stage. MC'd, hosted on occasion, but my skill was, well, carnival barker, really. Getting people in the door, corralling, working the crowd. From there, you can build yourself up if you have some tenacity and are persistent. Such ideas can be, well, translated to anything, really. You just have to find what it is you excel at and how it can build a foundation to something else. So that would be my question for you. What do you want to pursue with persistence and tenacity? What do you have?
Well, this is not as known right now, but I am working on a big event at Titus's racetrack that I'm just tickled pink about. And I find something so invigorating about like bringing people together, bringing these pieces together, and then creating an event. And my birthday was like a microcosm of what I want to do. I want to do something big that is, I don't know, that's just like a hub of a bunch of different art forms all together. And DJ Rowley was at my birthday party, and finally I got to kind of talk with her about what I want. But yeah, I want to be like the middle of a wheel of spokes of artistic endeavors and creating something sparkly and new and fun and an experience for people. I think.
In old Hollywood, producers had more keys to the kingdom than anyone else. Well, an aspect of that is still true today. Producer means sometimes who just has money or who has access to money. When really, true producers are the ones who can most guide a vision. Directors are important, of course, but it depends how much you ascribe to auteur theory versus the collaborative aspect.
Right.
But someone in a producer role with a auteur view can achieve many things. Especially as it's harder for us to be in the spotlight.
Quite.
So being able to know when to apply pressure, pull strings, create while not being directly observed.
But I do like being watched, and she kind of like brushes her hair behind her ear. Very interesting.
Now, the question I would have for you. Is this some roundabout way of asking a different question, or is this the totality of what you wanted to bring me?
Well, to be truthful, and she kind of lowers her voice.
I do appreciate truthful.
Many people do, I find. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm sure you were aware of certain events that happened at this birthday party that I attempted to curate to a pretty microscopic degree. Yeah.
And says, discretion would prevent me from ever commenting one way or the other.
And I appreciate that in you. One day I will be able to be mysterious, but I am a yapper. But the main reason I wanted to ask you about this is that it really threw me for a loop as far as I don't know, thinking about legacy and how I am perceived and what I bring to the table. Because clearly this, and she kind of gestures to Elysium, this is it's a multi-strata situation where you have the role that you're given or appointed to or inherit, whatever, etc. And then you have the role that everybody else sees. And those sometimes are a little different. She's like thinking to the prince and how it's like prince evokes royalty while he seems to be kind of like willing to get his hands dirty, wearing, not as nice clothes as everybody. Like he's a prince of the people. So I'm trying to figure out what my role is here. And honestly trying to figure out what I want to do. I still feel terribly young, which is both very exciting and excruciatingly painful. Yeah, I don't know if that made any sort of sense. Things are very roundabout in my mind right now.
It's the exact same conversation we just had, but with slightly different nouns and pronouns.
Right.
You are young, and in our stratified gerontocracy, that plays against you.
Yes.
Those that are in power typically remain so. And if your idea is to move up in the world, displacement has to happen. Right. But if office is not your goal, you are still at the whims of those who are in those offices, which creates problems but also opportunity. So once again I ask, what is it that you find yourself with a talent for? What is it that you want to use or accomplish with those talents? What do you want to build? Do you want to have a business? Do you want to be known for something? The go-to person for this?
and I get back to you.
I'll give you an example. And he will turn, and while the major powers that be are not in the room anymore, there are one or two, Atherton being one. You do see the Tremere Regent talking with one or two people as well. He seems to be talking actually with the Ventru Primogen. Actually across the way. Same level as you, but just on the opposite side. For example, now while I don't have first-hand knowledge, as I was not here at the time, Mr. Halsey, he sort of angles his head towards the Ventru Primogen. He didn't start out in his role. And while he wasn't the first sheriff, that was Alden, he did take over the role. And now he runs a security company while being head of one of the, if not the most powerful clan in the city. If even the Ventru can start from comparatively nothing, so can you. It just might take a few decades or a century.
Mm-hmm.
There was that whole discussion about tenacity and persistence. Just figure out what you're good at that's marketable. Bouncing a book on your head might be impressive for about 5 minutes, but unless you can use it to overthrow, impress. But I'll let you start with a little bit of discretion. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yes, of course. Thank you for... You set it out as a very simple thing, which is wonderful, and I'm going to probably write this down in a journal somewhere. I think my entire life I never quite knew exactly what I wanted, and now I have so long to figure that out. And I know it's going to change day in and day out. But I have to find the common thread, I think.
Oh, perhaps something to sober that thinking. Did you hear that one of the Brujah died?
No.
Well, no war is without casualties on either side.
No.
Also a bit young. I'm sure he thought he had all the time in the world to figure it out as well.
Jeez. And it was like a Sabbat?
One of ours killed by the Sabbat, yes.
Yeah. No, I put that very far from my mind during my birthday prep. I'm realizing now.
Perhaps that was a gift you gave yourself, but it is time to perhaps look at the wider picture a bit.
Right.
And perhaps that knowledge might help focus you in the directions you need to go.
A little fire under my ass might help a little. Thank you for meeting with me and sharing your knowledge. And by the way, this suit is incredible. This blue is like perfect.
Isn't it just?
It's great. Big fan.
Good evening, Bobby.
Good evening.
Mm.
See you around.
Now, is there anything else you'd like to leave a note on before I fade out from that? Okay. Let's check back in with Ellie. There are perhaps a few subtle revelations you had come to after your conversation with Amon last week. Some people that you wanted to talk to either about those revelations or about your present goal of lore. There are some of those people that might be here tonight. Are there any of them that you want to have a conversation with?
I think my starting thing, it may not be to get a conversation, but I at least need to put a face to the name
Mhm.
of Lex Rudlow,
Okay.
and just be able to get at least like an idea of what he looks like. So if I'm able to get eyes on him.
Mm-hmm. So how would you like to effectuate that? Since you don't know who he is, you're uncertain if he's here tonight.
Well, probably should chat with the main man about town and check in with Atherton and see if he has seen Rudlow.
Hmm.
The
I
other
will
option
say-
could be to find like Edward or someone to do that. But I also don't want to step on toes since above the table, Cora and Poppy will be doing that anyway.
There's that sort of divide and conquer aspect as well. So, no, going to Atherton is perfectly viable. Do you let him find you? Do you go find him?
I go to find him.
You find him in the main hall. He seems to be talking a little bit with Dalton Reeves, and I'm not sure if you know her by name, but Nina Whitfield. There seems to be a bit of chatter about upcoming seasonal events that you don't get specific details on as you are approaching, but it does sound more of the mortal variety, things that are upcoming around town that might be of some value or cultural interest to Kindred. But as he sees you start to weave through the crowd and it becomes obvious that you're heading in his direction, he makes his polite excuses and steps away to directly engage with you. How can I help you?
Hello, Mr. Atherton. I was checking to see if Mr. Rudlow was here tonight.
I did see him a little while earlier. I'm sure I could find him again for you.
Well, I don't want him to have to, go rushing over to me by any means. Just want to ask a couple questions, but I mostly just want to make sure I have a face to the name.
You would simply like him pointed out to you for future endeavors?
Well, and if it seems that he's not busy, I'll certainly go and talk to him as well.
Let me see. And he seems to know how to step to avoid anybody else getting into his eye line so that he can almost, it's more of like a combat term, slicing the pie, but in the case of just knowing how to step and knowing where to look and avoid other people getting in his way of finding who and what he's looking for, being fully situationally aware of the room And while you don't know if Malkavians have any such capacities that would make that easier, it seems like he is well suited towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees Sokolov step back inside and glad handing a gentleman. And he will sort of lean in and direct your attention to. It's unclear if you actually would know who Sokolov is at this point. Maybe in passing it may have been pointed out, but no real direct interaction. Against the far wall with Mr. Sokolov would be one Lexington Rudlow. And as you see Sokolov and Rudlow sort of exchange a few words, shake hands, and pass again, you do see Rudlow sort of more aimless in terms of not having any particular individual that he is chasing down or is looking for him at the moment. It's more observing the room, looking to see if there's an opportunity, paying attention, sometimes checking his phone, but he doesn't seem to have any pressing appointments.
Well, it looks like I have my prime opportunity now. Thank you, Mr. Atherton.
Of course. Is there anything else I can be of assistance with?
That's all for now. Thank you.
Of course.
And I will, before anyone else takes attention, I'll start to make my way towards Lexington.
Mm-hmm. He seems not so much ignoring or avoiding you as much as, unless you are sort of directly veering into his eye line and making a beeline to him, it's more like he seems to sort of have put you in his visual tracking, but is looking at other issues, things that he can either be involved in or just needs to be aware of.
Mr. Rudlow?
I believe we don't have not. Excuse me. Let me start that over again. I have not had enough caffeine today, folks. Sorry. He does sort of give this quizzical expression before he offers a hand. I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
Ellie. I'm from the land down under.
One could have guessed. How can I help you?
Well, I've been thinking of starting a little bit of a online business of sorts. Well, I just want to be careful about being able to cover myself. I can cover myself on a data internet area very well, but in terms of making sure all the legalese, yes.
And what exactly is this business?
Private investigation.
An often overlooked but apt application of so many of your skills. Now, in what way are you looking to protect yourself from a legal standpoint?
Well, kind of the, let's just say it wouldn't behoove me to put my mailing address as the sewers of Savannah, Georgia. And also, I probably don't want people randomly knocking on my door during the day for multiple reasons. A lot of stuff that I feel like someone of your skill set may have a little more experience on how to actually get around just being a legitimate business in this town.
The laughing is me, not the character. I'm just the legitimate business sort of just that got me a little bit. I'm a legitimate businessman.
I am legitimate businessman.
I'm assuming you have your own P.O. box.
Ellie makes a point of taking out a little notepad and go, make P.O. box. Got it? It's first step.
So that one dot of subterfuge is trying to do a lot of heavy lifting here, isn't it? Because we have established that Ellie does have one.
Oh, we did? Oh, sorry. No, that was Smoggle's forgetting.
Okay.
Smoggle's forgot that I
Okay.
had a PO box.
Mhm.
Yes. No.
We can rejig that a
I'll
little
say
bit.
we can rejig it. Yes. Yes, I got a PO box.
Okay.
Smoggles doesn't, but that's a whole different thing.
Many businesses are rarely incorporated in the state that they operate in. Many businesses, even legitimate ones, barely have a stone and mortar setup. The entirety of it is simply a locked room in a business park. Well, why am I telling you this? You're the private investigator. Sure, you know all these things.
Sure, but I'm usually going after specific individuals, more likely. It's, to be honest, most of them, I'm sure you're aware of most of these PI TV shows, but a lot of the business is usually is my husband cheating on me or not? And can you get photos?
Well, if that's the case, I might have use for you at some point.
Are you wanting me to find out if yours is cheating on someone? Never mind. That's a conversation for another time. But yes,
You
I'm not
approached me knowing what it is I do, correct? You really want to waste time with the jokes?
So I am not as knowledgeable about the corporation side of things. I mostly deal with the individual squabbles.
So, knowing what I've already told you, what is it that you seek from me?
Well, if it's about having a corporation that's not incorporated in the state, where should I avoid incorporating in Georgia, or should I incorporate in a different state, or do you recommend me pick a random state on the dartboard? Or is there a particular one you'd suggest?
Well, there are pluses and minuses to both. Doing so locally can tie you locally, make you look more legitimate to a certain extent, especially if you are a small business. But certain states or countries altogether have differing problems and caveats with filing. There is, of course, the world over fan favorite of incorporating in Delaware, becoming one of a billion tiny needles in a haystack made of needles. But that doesn't always help you the way you think it does. For one thing, the right entity that looks at, say, your website, finds what your company name is, that it has an LLC attached to it, and they see on public records that you are incorporated in Delaware. For some, this will raise some suspicions. For others, they will see it as, oh, they're my kind of bastard.
So if I were trying to attract, let's say, out-of-towners, do you think they would be more interested if I were incorporated in Delaware or locally?
Now, if the majority of your business is my spouse cheating, you're not going to be getting too many out-of-towners. You're looking for the local. And if we're being honest, people in that position aren't being too discerning about exactly the corporate background of a private investigator. Unless, of course, they are planning to use you for something unsavory. Then it's a case of looking for leverage to have on you to do the task that they actually want done.
Right. You mentioned, have you done it? Have you incorporated it in other countries? You mentioned countries at one point.
I mentioned that it does happen in other countries.
Sorry, that one just threw me for a loop. I was like, "Ooh!" Suddenly
For
incorporating.
instance, some of the large mega corporations like Amazon, they have ostensibly a home entity, and then they have several national specific corpo twin siblings, whatever you want to call it. In order to do business in certain places, they have to have additional business licenses, so they have to have incorporations in some of the countries that they are establishing themselves in. Now, that's not universal, but it is not uncommon.
Okay. Above the table.
Mm-hmm.
This is Smoggles trying to put mental and physical notes together.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you now, he is tap dancing a lot.
Yeah.
Because
I'm trying to remember.
Give you a lot to really clutch onto.
Yeah, because some of it is like, because some of it is some of it I'm remembering from last session of stuff I kind of figured out, like the incorporating in Delaware type things.
What I'll say is, because we're getting into very vague discussions rather than a very pointed one, that he is giving sort of broad answers rather than any specific ones. So that's I think maybe where some of this is running into.
Yeah.
So this might be a case of either to tip your hand a tiny bit or live with the vagaries of it if you're not willing to give certain information.
I'm going to formulate this idea. Okay. Well, this looks like this is actually being helpful in a couple of cases.
Oh, really? I suppose I should give you my card and a bill with my consultant fee. And he is actually reaching into his pocket.
Certainly.
And he does produce a card.
That certainly will help. I've been honestly doing a little bit of one of the clients I've been speaking to is well, this person's husband happens to work in okay. Smuggles is gonna figure out the way to word this carefully so I don't immediately get murdered in Elysium.
Back to that one dot of subterfuge.
Not knowing that Smuggles has like negative half a dot. So
But like 18 dots in self-awareness, which, that's
18
something in the world.
18 dots in self-awareness and 287 in overthinking. So it's I roll all the dice and then I spend my time just counting all of them.
And it's not like any character you've ever played has ever been killed in the middle of Elysium before.
Yeah. Great. So her husband happens to work in hospitality, and he's clearly like covering some of his expenses in whatever his businesses are. So that's one of those kind of bullshit S Corp things I've been running into myself.
I see. Well, if you'd like a little further help getting legally set up, we could have future conversations. Unless you're asking me to opine and consult on the present case. In which case there would be a fee attached to that.
Yeah, that's my question. Is it hourly or by the word?
Well, they do say an hour is the smallest manageable time construct, so we'll go with that. Though there is a minimum 2-hour fee.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. And I will take the card. I assume it has its phone number on it.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate speaking with you. It's always good to converse with a fellow professional.
Sam, I'm gonna have to ask you to roll something now.
Oh no! Why? Why? I've been so careful.
We're just going to go with manipulation and subterfuge. It's not about what you said in the final moment. It's just the entire course of the conversation. It's like, His entire job is picking apart stories and finding the holes and dancing around the legality of it to make it sing and dance the way that he wants to, and that's his entire raison d'etre. So we are going to put this just at a 7.
Can we put it to a 6 because Martell's put max damage and I suffered psychological damage from that comment in chat?
No.
Okay.
Can you increase it?
No.
I admire the tenacity to try and find a way to plead down, but let's see how you do after your roll first.
All right, chat. Do I go to having spent 4 willpower tonight, or do I keep it at 3 for right now? I'll keep it at 3 for right now. And when I get the botch, it'll be its own thing. 7, you said?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a botch, but it's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
10 got canceled out by the 1.
Okay. I would say that failure is not the worst thing that happened here. Botch would have been really bad. Failure is more like above the table. We can at least recognize that he knows something is askew with this entire setup.
The moment I said my official business as a private investigator, it was probably a red flag.
He's like, uh-huh. Tell me more. Tell me
Tell me
more.
more. God.
Just-
Why did
I think
say
that is more or less where it is, where he's not picking up on anything specific as much as that's interesting. It's not entirely all lies, but it's not at all truthful. There was some bullshit in there, and the problem is trying to figure out how much of it was bullshit and how much of it was ultra bullshit.
I'm an enigma. You'll never know.
As you do that, he just sort of curtly shakes your hand. I have other appointments.
Yes. So do I. I don't know
He's
why I
already
speak
left.
anymore. Move on to the next person.
Oh, that is just perfect. Just a perfect summary of that little moment. Now, last but not least, Cora. You
Right.
had one pressing appointment,
I did.
and I would say you would have walked into the main hall to notice when Matilda disappeared into that other room with some of the powers that be.
Good.
You do not know how long she's going to be.
Right. Then I will do my best to keep my conversations concise.
That isn't to say that we can let scenes breathe if they need to, but just you don't know if you're stuck here or not.
Well, sure, yeah. Cora's going to be mindful of the fact that she may be required.
Mm-hmm.
And
So who do
not
you
to
seek
text
out?
Matilda about whether she could go or not, because she's kind of busy. So let's get to it. Let's go see Titus. Unless we want to do some little side things first, in which case,
Let's deal with Titus first.
Okay.
And so how do you try to get a hold of him?
Well, he knew that I was going to be here and that we would be speaking to each other. So first, I'm just going to take a quick look around the main room and see if he happens to be milling about.
Make a perception alertness check for me.
Sure.
And because it's not a full crowd, we're going to leave this at a 6. I won't lower it for your aspects because of the using heightened senses. I think in this moment would sort of be a little disorienting.
Okay. I, in that case, achieved a very mild success with just a single success.
You manage to spot him just as he's walking up to you, rather than surprising you.
Okay.
There's a moment where he's going to do a little bit of the Steve Rogers on your left moment, but you're turning around just as he's about to say it. And Cora.
Titus, good to see you. I'll reach out a hand.
You'll shake, and yeah, you want to talk to me about the track?
Yes, yeah. So I was hoping maybe I could get a little space, either a garage or a bay or something I could use to put a project car. I've been looking for something to do in my spare time, and
He's
thought that
going
would
to
be
start
really nice to do.
leading you out the door into the parking lot. Just
Okay.
add like mid conversation.
I don't have a lot of spare income right now, but if there's maybe I know my way around a car or something I could do for you up there at the track.
Well, here's the problem. The track isn't really open right now.
Oh, yeah. From everything that's going on, I take it.
It wouldn't exactly be feasible or responsible right now. It's too much in the outskirts, and too many things can go wrong far too quickly.
So, how's that been for you? How are you maintaining business, or at least just staying sane?
Well, because you're in the parking lot and there's a few people milling around there. It's usually one of those things where few people remain in the liminal state of a parking lot for very long. They either tend to be getting in and out of the car, going into the house, or leaving it. They're not just having conversations typically. You're one of the outliers. And he goes, it's not the only racing I do, and it's not the only work I do. But the legitimate work, that's the track.
I've got it.
Now, there is, of course, the complications of the Ventru and their company, Veritas. You've heard of them?
Yes, yeah. Kate worked for them.
So while they are based on Hutchinson, they primarily are interspersed throughout the rest of the city, the county as at large. So while they are present and they are doing what they can, they're also not the only entity at work. You know, you would know the bridge as you're leaving the city to go over to the island. You know, you have to get off the ramp and everything, and then you're on the island proper. But if you were to follow the bridge, it goes into South Carolina. He does look around a little bit. One of the Brujah groups, they tend to hang out there looking for, well, people to scrap with half the time.
Outside the county, does it cause problems?
Well, they're not on the South Carolina side. They're still on the edge of Hutchinson.
Okay.
So it's more about keeping tabs on who comes in. Usually it's just them getting in the scraps with a coterie on the other side. A little bit of, you know, the old boys will be boys kind of situation. Nobody gets killed, everybody gets a bloody lip, gets it out of their system, and nobody gives a shit.
Sure.
But both sides have a vested interest in keeping an eye on the bridge, making sure Sabat or any other problems don't come through. Now, I don't know so much about what's going on with them, but I do know that they've been having some issues.
Sure. And if they're having issues that could maybe cause extra problems for you, I take it.
Well, not just me, but very much yes. Now, they have a thing down there tonight where I was thinking about paying my respects.
Paying your respects.
One of theirs, as I hear it, fell to the Sabat during one of the many little skirmishes we've been having.
Our side of the border, or theirs? The others.
Sabat, not South Carolina.
Right. Sure. I was just curious which of the groups of Brujah it was.
I'm actually not even entirely sure if it is a Brujah group on the other side or just a different group of assholes.
Right.
In any case, I was thinking about going to say hello, but they are going to be in a bad fucking mood.
Sure.
You're welcome to come.
Yeah, I suppose I can do that. Sure. It only seems right. I mean,
Now, can you actually get away?
depends on when you want to leave. Matilda's busy right now, so.
Alright, tell you what. Why don't you go figure that out? And let me know in the next 20 minutes.
I can do that.
Okay. Then we can figure it out from there.
All right, sounds good.
And as he does walk you back in, do you and Poppy want to try and link up to go find Edward? Or is that something you want to leave for a different time?
I'd be into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that, and then we can head off to break afterwards. I'm assuming with all the sort of back and forth musical chair situation, it's a case of as Cora's walking back in, Poppy's walking back down the stairs, and serendipity.
Well, this is good timing.
Yeah, really. Though, I just heard about, like, as we're walking, a Brujah was killed. One of
I
our...
just heard the same thing.
I'm a little rattled by it, to be honest. I feel like it's getting closer and closer to us.
I mean, it's, I guess I'm not surprised that Kate's not the only one.
Yeah. But anyway, we're in investigation mode, right?
Sure. I will say, Titus and I are going to be headed up north to pay respects. So
Yeah.
Can
I
don't
come?
know how he would feel about me bringing someone else along, but we could try.
Well, Titus and I are collaborators.
Perfect. Then I'll see if maybe we can all go together.
Yeah.
I, out of character, I will remind you, Poppy does have another appointment more immediately.
Am I fighting soon? Never mind.
It doesn't mean that you can't go there, it just might happen a little bit later.
Yeah. I'm actually going to the gym.
That's
first,
right.
so
You
I
said
will
so
go
at the gazebo.
separately.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. But yeah, Ed's office.
Investigation time.
So I mean, you go back up the stairs, try and find his office.
Yeah, we've been before.
We've been, yeah.
So.
I know.
Okay. You do see the door is open and some light coming through.
Could be him or could be Lila. so I'm gonna knock on like the frame, but then because the door is open, like head in.
You do see that Lila's dungeon is her door's closed and there is no light coming through, but that's not necessarily indicative of anything.
Sure.
True.
The lights could be off, but somebody could be very home. But you don't hear any sounds. You okay over there?
And we both have heightened senses, so we would.
This is true. We would know, right?
You want to roll for it?
Maybe I don't want to know. No. Ignorance is bliss.
You pulled the pin on that grenade, and now you have to deal with it, so I'm going to make you roll.
All right, we're going to roll.
Oh, dear.
And this would be
doing anything kinky.
Auditory, and you have 1 dot?
roll for hearing aura aura.
Pretty much. It's going to be down to, I would say it would be 7 because it'd be hearing it through a door, but it'd be a 5 with the negative.
Okay, and we're using alertness and
Alertness and perception.
perception.
I got 2 1s and no successes.
I got so many successes. I actually have to reroll 2 10s.
You got 2 10s, I got 2 1s.
So that's I have an uncomfortable number of successes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4,
You
5
know too much.
successes.
Here's how I'm going to adjudicate this. Cora, due to the amount of successes, and you perhaps having had more time to acclimate yourself with this particular discipline and that particular application of it, and the more recent fuckery from the guards who turned up the volume on your car
Yes.
because you fucked around. This time, it's like you're starting to hear something loud, something unpleasant, and your brain sort of seems to recoil immediately to the point where you don't even process what it was, other than the fact that instinctively you know you didn't want to. Poppy, your privilege has run out.
Ah.
The amount of ooh, ara, ara, and slurp sounds are cacophonous
Oh
and
no.
deafening. And due to the propensity for Toreador to get a sort of artistically bound locked-in syndrome as their clan curse, you are... How do I put this? Do you know the difference between catatonic and cataplectic?
No.
Catatonic would be you are in a sort of coma state, collapsed on the floor, ragdolled. Cataplectic is that same thing, but you're fully standing upright as if the body is running on a certain amount of autopilot, unwilling to process the fact that it should be on the ground, and you're sort of just frozen as if someone had pressed the universal VHS pause button.
Oh no.
So, Cora is
And
going
just
to...
a second.
Sure.
You are lost in the various textures on an audiological level, as if you were trying to comprehend a visual version of the textures into a tapestry that you are as if trying to sort of paw at on the floor like you are in some MDMA-induced euphoria where you are just, oh, look how, oh, the floor, the carpet, oh my God, are you feeling this? But it's all the sounds, and they have started to sort of lose meaning and gain new meanings. You brought this on yourself, is all I'm going to say. And I want to just thank you for causing it. I'd like to thank everyone for being here.
You didn't tell me it was going to be a group botch because we would have had to hear all of that.
Poppy has
Wait,
unlocked
just a second.
a hentai derangement. Great.
Yeah.
You, prior to stream, I believe, was talking about like willpower is a communal resource, right? We all get to use it. Guess what happens when you bot? Now everyone gets to feel it. That's on you. That's what you caused.
I didn't do it.
Wow. Teacher, do we have homework?
Okay. While Poppy is in this fugue state, Cora, you do recognize the sort of stop in mid-step, transfixed You're not entirely sure why, because you've already forgotten what you didn't hear
I'm gonna
with your
just
uncomfortable amount of successes.
really gently take Poppy's hand. I mean, like, Poppy,
Huh.
you feeling all right?
Mm-hmm. Do you hear that?
Hear what?
Everything. Everything.
No, I don't. You need to sit
Good,
down.
good. No, I can handle this.
I'm going to say you're going to have to spend a temporary willpower to move from where you're standing, because you would be moving towards the source of the subject.
Oh gosh. Great. I will spend a temporary willpower. She like shakes her head and it takes a slow step.
Sure, take the time you need.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you are aware, but it's more like a gradually becoming background white noise.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and again, it's like the equivalent of being aware of your own tongue in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The idea of every now and again you are breathing on autopilot kind of thing. Like it just comes back to you more than you would like it to, and it is an effort to push it back down. I won't have you roll or spend any more willpower, but that has been the cost of the botch.
Mm-hmm.
But as I would say that there's a bit of this teetering outside, the hesitation to go any further, that's when Edward steps out, shrugging on the chocolate brown suit jacket over his vest with no tie, but a nice white shirt, a couple of buttons undone, and just, I was wondering what the commotion was out here.
Commotion?
Well, when people stop a few feet from my door, I tend to notice.
Ah, yes. Sorry. How are you?
I'm well, and he does look between the two of you for a moment with a little smirk. Looks over his shoulder. How are you?
Peachy. Mm-hmm.
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 We were just hoping to check in on things, with the shared job.
Ah. He's still wearing that slight smirk. He does walk you away from the office a bit. You are still on the upper level, but not in the part of the house that is overlooking the main hall. It is simply just where one or two errant offices. If you follow this hallway, you'll go to the library, that sort of thing. It's a little more removed from most things. It's not high traffic. Ah, yes. Bit of a mixed bag. It's been a bit of both less and more activity from the Sabbat, so we don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves by getting into potential hijinks.
Mm-hmm.
Even the cops are a little bit on high alert, and they don't entirely understand why.
Sure.
But that might be a good test for you. I know you've been looking for some way to show your skill sets. And he looks at Poppy. You've already done something of that level for me, so I'm not going to have you do that again. Unless you want to, of course. I do love repeat performances.
We'll see how enticing what we come up with is.
For you, do you have any skill set experience with street racing?
Yeah, I won one back in Frankfurt and it tore it up, in fact. A track I'd never been on before.
Hmm. And did you make any sort of mess? The car were driving, was it in one piece?
The car I was driving was in one piece.
Interesting qualification. I take it the other not so much.
Sure. It's not his fault he couldn't keep up with me, though.
Not his fault that it sucks to suck. Interesting, interesting. So, good, at least you can do that, but in comparison, that was a controlled setting. There was a willing participant.
Yes, at least he was willing when it started.
Well, what happens afterwards is entirely his problem. In this instance, you have a new problem. Either driving in such a way that could gain attention of the police, but not being caught by them, or managing to acquire the attention of the police, but eluding them entirely.
All right.
And not on a racetrack, I mean using public roads, driving as fast as you need to,
Sure. Okay.
but negotiating the practicalities of the road and the other drivers on it. I do not have a particular path for you. I do not have a particular task, only that you find a way to engage in such a thing.
Well, I think it shouldn't be too hard to get their attention.
Now, not getting their attention is also worth speaking about.
Hmm.
Causing trouble without getting noticed, but being able to get away from that notice should you have to. Both are
Yeah.
important skills.
For sure.
But it'd be important to work on that now when you are not on the specific job.
Makes sense.
So I would invite you to consider a potential way of going about that, either by instigating a race or by simply intentionally burning past a cop and getting them to come after you and avoiding them. Now, of course, you may not want to do that in your actual car, but who am I to tell you?
Yeah, that's definitely a good consideration. So, I do have to ask, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I do this and I do find myself hemmed up. How do we handle that? Is that something Redlow's law firm takes care of, or?
Character, do you know about Rudlow? Was this mentioned last session during your little group setting?
Yeah, I brought it up.
Gotcha.
I
I
brought
just wanted to be
Rolo
sure.
as a
Yeah.
legal thing.
And
Okay.
we planned on like slightly trying to figure out how to talk to Hezekiah about it.
Got it. Just wanted to be sure. Could, though that would garner a few favors in his direction, to be indebted to him.
Right.
So, what's rule 1 of crime? And he is looking towards Poppy.
What is rule 1 of crime? Out of character, had we discussed this?
No, I'm just preying on the fact that Poppy do crime.
Poppy do crime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, it's a spectacular attention to detail.
While very important and very applicable, wrong. Don't get caught.
That was what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. And he looks over his shoulder again at the door, or that might be part of what happens. I'm not sure what people are into these days. Though I have heard from Lila, if you get caught, blush real hard, you might change the genre. Carry on. And he walks back into the office.
Cora, the sounds that I am hearing from Lila's door right now are... You know the painting, the Hieronymus Bosch painting with like the Garden of Earthly Delights, and then the one that's worse?
Cora's going to put her hand on Poppy's back and walk farther away from this space. Like, I see. I'm surprised that I didn't catch it.
I'm both inspired and feel like upchucking.
Well,
It's kind of beautiful.
it's good to know that she's in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Getting
I'll say-
this done.
On that note, it's time to go on break. Back in a little bit, folks. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch. We rejoin our coterie as they are making plans to leave Elysium to perhaps go out into the night and intersect with problems in the night, which may or may not be their own fault, but they are going to have to deal with. Some of them may or may not be Schlorpy. Don't give me that look.
Tell us more.
Well, it all started with. But changing tack. Ellie, you had brought Alice to Elysium under, well, two pretenses. One is she doesn't get to see the big house very often, and you were going to be driving her out to do some scrapping. So you started getting that underway.
Correct. I will go and find Alice and see if she's ready to go on our little excursion.
If she has a cell phone, you're not aware of it. At least I don't think there's been any use of a phone from her, has there?
No, she finds you.
Mm-hmm. So you can't just
Also-
call her?
Sorry,
Mhm.
I'm just I have cousins' kids who like have just gotten their phones and they are constantly calling all the time instead of messaging and all that. So I'm just imagining Alice with that ability and
Yeah. Well, there's probably reasons why she doesn't have a phone
yeah,
that
probably.
you've seen anyways. You don't see her in the main room. At least not at first. So what I'm going to have you do is roll perception alertness. And we're just going to have this at a 5. Because you at least know to start looking down.
Yeah, I at least know which direction.
And you're not looking necessarily just like right in front of you.
Two successes.
2 successes. Okay. As you start sort of scanning the room, trying to find the little well, the real odd piece in the whole group is there are no other child vampires that you are aware of in Savannah. You've never seen any when you were in St. Louis. And the fact that being Nosferatu kind of would even further make her stick out. Normally. But where you find her actually perched is not among all the people, as much as one of the pillars that holds up the sort of observational area of the banister above, where some of you sometimes find conversations with whoever. She seems to be peeking around one of these pillars, and a faint giggle, and then she peeks back behind. She looks back, little giggle, hiding again.
Does she seem to be looking at me
No.
as she does that? Oh.
If you follow her eye line,
Yeah.
or at least what you suspect to be the eye line, and with 2 successes I'll allow that, is you seem to be noticing Atherton is occasionally engaging in a conversation with someone and then just politely looking over his shoulder, sort of passively engaging with this little game. But perhaps he is indulging a child or placating a monster.
Oh dear.
Why not both?
Cool. I'm gonna participate in this game a little bit and try to kind of sneak over to where she is and like hide behind the pillar behind her to see if be like, oh, what are we looking at, type thing.
And she looks at you and is like, oh, you're supposed to get your own hiding spot.
So sorry, I didn't realize this wasn't a group effort. Did you want to keep playing this game, or you're ready to go scrapping?
And she kind of like puts her like fists against her hip, kind of just in that, like trying to be stern, looking like, but her going to the scrapyard was the real kind of big seller, because she always finds little toys to bring home. Okay. Can I drive?
No.
And she kind of just gives you a little, I'm older than you. And she just starts walking out.
That's not, there's plenty of drivers that are younger than the people they, that's sometimes the point. Okay. And I'll follow her out.
And I'm assuming you do stop at the guardhouse to get the gun?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how precious are you with it? Like, are you, because you got a little
It's
lockbox
going in a
for it.
lockbox.
I'm assuming you gave
lockbox.
them the lockbox itself.
Yeah.
Did you give them the key?
Above the table, I'm not sure that would make much sense for me to do that.
So what I'll say is, here's a locked box. There is something inside of it. You have to trust that I am telling you the truth.
I mean, the other way to do it is to open it in front of them, show them what's inside.
There is that.
And then close it. So could I say that I did that?
Sure.
Yeah.
And do you like put it underneath your seat? I'm assuming you're trying to keep it away from Alice.
The key is very much in the key is in my possession I'd say maybe the lockbox is like in my pack that I usually carry with me.
So the next choice you have to make is where you're actually going to go. There are a smattering of scrapyards across the county, but the choice would be somewhat strategic on your part of inside the interior of the county. You're going to maybe deal with more security, but there will be less of a chance of running into Sabat. If you're going to the outskirts, little to no security and possibility of running into Sabat. Another option is, of course, you do know of a Brujah that has a scrapyard.
I do know of a Brujah that has a scrapyard.
So
and out of abundance of caution for the Sabat, so they don't have to deal with Alice, I may do that instead.
So you want to go and find Uncle Buck's scrapyard. Okay. So it is slightly northwest of downtown. So you're not too far away from the series of on-ramps that would take you to the bridge. So you're still almost within the closer orbit of like the main core of the county, but you're not exactly at the core and you're not at the fringe. It's a little bit more sort of that liminal Lagrange point in between. But because you know that there is another kindred there, that it might be a little safer. However, you know if you're going to go to someone's scrapyard, well, for one thing, are you going there and saying, hey, I'm coming over to your scrapyard, can we root around for stuff, I'll pay you? Or are you trying to sneak in and hoping he doesn't notice? What's the plan?
Oh, no, I'm definitely letting him know.
Okay. Now, that would go into the whole domain tradition, so that would make sense. But I'm assuming you would have gotten his phone number when you bought the van.
Right.
So you could either call or text him. You don't have to do a whole scene for that, but just check and see how you get that message.
I'll probably text that I will text that Alice and I need some scraps, so we'll be coming over if that's okay.
You get back after a few minutes. Can't keep the place open for too long. Got somewhere else to be later.
Got it. We won't be long.
Oh, and there's that little follow-up message of, got money?
Always.
Thumbs up. And as you, for one thing, leave the grounds of Wormslow and get on the various interconnecting highways that lead to all the spidering roads, is there anything you want to bring up with Alice, or leaving it as companionable silence?
I will ask a question of Alice, and I'll just be like, so I had another fun convo with our mutual friend Amon recently.
You see her sort of like kicking her feet slightly on her seat in that little like Her feet do not reach the floor, so she's kind of just having fun with the space in between. Oh, most people don't talk about him.
Well, yeah, last person I tried to talk about him, who shoved me into a corner and said, "Don't talk."
Yeah. What did you talk about?
Oh, goings on about the town. Do you usually get to talk to him?
Sometimes.
What do you usually talk about?
About what you usually talk about? And she just has this little devilish grin on her face.
Have you been helping him for very long? You did mention you're older than me.
She, puts her hands back on her hips in that sort of like mock snooty way the kids do, and girls aren't supposed to say their age.
Well, I'll appreciate I'll appreciate the lady's privacy then.
But again, that smirk never really went away, and she does sort of seem to be like counting on her fingers. And she grabs one of your hands and she starts like trying to count them.
Not while I'm driving.
Oh, long time.
You like chatting with him?
Sometimes. Not a big talker.
No, usually makes you do all the talking, doesn't he? You mentioned no one talks about him. Have other people told you not to talk about him too?
She does seem to be genuinely thinking about it and just once or twice.
So, who do you feel is most in charge down there?
Me.
You know what? That was my fault. That was my fault. I asked you that question. Yep. That's what Ellie says in their head. They're like, no,
Not out loud.
That's on me. I set the bar too low. Valid. Why only sometimes do you like talking to him on?
Usually it's just telling me stuff to do.
A lot about getting information.
Or people, or things.
What types of things could he want?
And she looks at you sort of quizzically, like, this guy's asking some questions, sort of look like the kids
now
give
suddenly the child's suspicious.
I don't like. What do you go looking for?
Usually information about other people.
Anything good?
Okay, something that's not incriminating but is fun for a child to learn about.
Is Ellie saying that out loud, or is that
No,
just like the inner
in my head.
monologue?
That's the inner monologue of Ellie.
How do I appease a child monster
How do we child
that I have
monster?
seen throw heavy metal objects into the sky?
I learned that there are, I learned about how good, I learned about some folks who are able to see through our obfuscation, which is a wild thing to have happen to you, I imagine.
No one can see me.
Right, it's just because I'm really bad at it.
She just looks like, you'll get better. And she just really taps you on the arm.
Thanks, Alice. Forget, have I seen Alice actually do Mask of Shadows? Or Shadows, the mask?
I don't think she's ever put it on display.
Yeah.
You've seen her use potence in...
Yes, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
not worried about that.
And I
by
don't
any
think you've
means.
seen her use animalism. So you've only seen her use one out of the 3 typical Nosferatu
This one's-
presentations.
Yeah.
But then again, if she's being truthful, you would know if she was using mask obfuscate to hide.
Right.
But you did see her hiding at Elysium. But was that actually hiding? Was it playing a game?
Right. And it's also Elysium, so you wouldn't be allowed to use any of your talents there either.
True. But here's the thing. 1, she is a child. 2, it's one of those disciplines where if you don't get caught...
Don't give me that bait, Graham. Don't give me, of all people, that bait of if you don't get caught, it's fine. Don't do that. Stop it.
Whatever do you mean? Oh, hold on. I have to get some keys to dangle.
You don't get caught, it's fine. Just botch once or twice and it's all good.
Hola.
Can't botch when you use willpower, Smuggles.
That's true. I just use all my willpower to pass as the sheriff for an entire night and just cause all the chaos. Did you find anything fun to bring back to Amon?
She's... The way you're asking the question, are you asking for something physical or like a little like juicy tidbit to bring back?
She mentioned bringing back people and things.
Mm-hmm.
So the things is what I'm looking at.
Okay, things.
Ooh, people might be interesting too if I find out he's talking to other people.
I mean, sometimes he gets really hungry and I bring him someone.
Like someone we know or someone...
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. I kind of mean like one of our own, or...
No. People. Upstairs people.
So he gets hungry and you bring someone from upstairs downstairs and then they're bye-bye?
I mean, I don't see all of that.
But you don't see him again.
There's a lot of bugs down there.
That's true. Is that what you meant by things? When...
And sometimes. But sometimes I bring him things that people aren't using anymore, that he's curious about.
Like technology?
She kind of... Do you have your phone out or in any way? Like, is it on the dash?
I think
like,
it's...
it has
I
like
think,
a GPS
yeah,
kind of thing?
It's probably on the... Yeah, it's probably on the dash, or it's on the little... It's on the... It's between the seats.
And she... Assuming you don't stop her, she will reach for the phone.
Yeah,
But I'm assuming it's also locked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes he likes to play with these. But I don't think he can see them.
He can't see the screens?
So, out of character, you do know that he basically doesn't really have eyes.
Yeah.
In the traditional, like, based on the photo.
But it still feels like... It feels like he, like... The thing I'm getting is, like, he still kind of, like, sees using his other senses. I'm feeling... what I'm getting at is kind of the difference between, like, part of the reason a dog barks at a vacuum cleaner is because it's making noise, but it doesn't really have a scent to it. So that's freaking the dog out.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's like that kind of similar, like not seeing thing.
I don't know. He looks and then he breaks it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm not gonna have him scroll through my internet history then.
She looks at you like she does not know at all what you just said.
That's good. I'm glad she doesn't.
I'll go a step further. It's like, it's not just that she didn't understand all of the words as a sentence. It's some of the words used she didn't seem to understand individually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll see if when we're out here we find something that maybe we can show him later.
Just something for me.
We can also this is a... I don't know if you've seen, but this is a big van. We can fit a lot of stuff in it.
And she does look in the back of the van, like, as if she's starting to get some ideas that you should not have given her.
No. Okay. Well, that's my own fault.
I want a forklift.
That's not gonna fit in the van, Alice.
I think the forklift could move the van, right? What about a really big magnet?
And Ellie continues driving, hoping to dear fucking God that Bucky does not have a giant magnet to lift cars in his scrapyard.
You have seen one.
God damn it.
What I'll say is, as you are driving, she's coming up with more and more elaborately stupid things that she can try and fit in the back of the van. Oh, what about but they kind of oscillate between more absurd and less.
Mm-hmm.
But also the things that are less absurd or maybe a little terrifying. Like, what does she need with a freezer?
I try to give positive reinforcement. So the
Mhm.
ones that are less absurd and could actually fit in the van, I go, ooh. And I try to be like silent about the ones that are outrageous and not react, because I know that's just going to encourage.
Mm-hmm. And as you get to the scrapyard, you do see Bucky outside. Old man just sort of slightly stroking his beard. I'm assuming you drop the face so that you can show him because you weren't just driving.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, trying to remember now if when you were out with her at one point, if she was using a false face.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think she was at the regular scrapyard that we went to, because it was like abandoned and didn't have any cameras.
I don't remember now. In any case,
someone scroll through all of our previous
I need
episodes
someone
right
to
now
scrub 60 plus episodes
and find out where find where it is. And I don't want you just finding the episode. I need you to go through the entire series. Thank you.
You can find that on our YouTube and come hang out in the Discord to provide the answer. So, I would say she's probably been sitting like almost like below the window line, so no one's really seeing her face. She has the hoodie on, but you being the driver would have had to have put your makeup on.
Yeah.
But
I
in
think
order
I
to
would have
talk to Bucky.
I would have had to confirm with Bucky if I needed to keep a face on.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of like showing, hey, it's me, I'm assuming like even just briefly would have been a dropping the.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He nods, but he sort of seems to sort of like gesture to put the face back on, sort of thing. Or actually, no, he wouldn't have bothered with that because last time you were all here, it was you, it was Tabby. Nobody was really putting on a face. Lila might have just because she could.
Oh, right. And
Tabby couldn't, I believe.
Tabby couldn't do that. Great.
So it's just, hoodies are useful.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm looking around for just making the car look a little less run down, so seeing what parts I can find there. And if you got any fun if you know of any fun items that Alice could take home that can hopefully fit in a van.
I'll give it some thought. But because I'm assuming you got out of the van at this point, you're parked, and he goes, and he does sort of like run his hand along the van a little bit. Well, considering how it started, good work.
Thank you. It's coming together, and hasn't fallen apart, which is one of the more important things.
Hey, I don't sell crap. But no, looks like it's in good shape. See if we can help you find some stuff. And he looks over at Alice. You can look around. You can handle some stuff, but you don't get to take anything until I see it. You got me? But we'll see if we can find something that's a little ridiculous that I want to get rid of. But if you can find it, he sort of just lets it linger in the air. She's like, "Oh, now it's a game," and she's gonna start running around. It's like, okay, now she's out of the hair. All right, for you, let's find what you need.
Basically, this is a bit of an old console, and so I have rejigged it a little bit with some of my electrical skills to make it at least a little more powerful a computer than it normally would be from this type of model. But I do want to just not have like an exposed motherboard in the thing as well. So I kind of want some casing on it with the proper ports needed. And well, the seats have certainly seen better days, so if there are some fresher seats I'd be able to get, that probably would be good, so I can fit more people.
Seats we can probably do. Another thing we're talking about. Bits and pieces of broken, what do you fucking call them? 3D printers, they end up in here. That might be more something you can use for that.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about a 3D printer. That opens up whole new opportunities.
Yeah. I think the thing you're looking for is just a little too bespoke, so you might want to just make your own.
Custom job. Well, we'll want to do it quickly so you can get back to your other appointment.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you're very excited by it.
Well, first I gotta schlep out there, and I gotta deal with Jolene. It's gonna be in a fucking mood tonight.
I mean, from what I have heard about her, that is not uncommon.
Oh, you don't know.
Apparently, I do not.
One of her coterie died.
Oh. Was it Sabat?
Mm-hmm.
In one of the battles or ambushed?
That part I'm not really sure of, but part that I'm putting together at least is when they're scrapping over by the bridge.
I would know whether is that scrapping fighting or scrapping. Yeah. Great. Okay. So is this kind of a memorial in that case?
Memorial, wake, burn pit, revel. Not really sure. I think her and her posse just want to burn out some energy. So it's going to be equal parts, maybe a few words, a few fights. Gotta get the poison out somehow.
Well, I'm sorry that it happened to both her and to him.
Dumb kid, but he wasn't that bad.
New face, relatively?
I'm gonna be honest, most of you are new compared to me.
Well, in the past year?
Nah, a little older than that.
Bit of a reckless one. based on what you're saying.
Well, he's part of that younger crowd of Brujah. More about the piss and vinegar rather than the thoughts in their head.
Have they been helping out with the raids going on around?
Sort of. I mean, their job is basically to sort of keep the line of scrimmage at the bridge.
So they're more playing defense than offense.
Usually it works out for them.
What about you? Have you been called to duty?
Here and there. The last week I did catch one climbing over that there fence. And he points over to the trash compactor. Tends to solve a lot of problems.
Can't imagine.
Hmm.
There was just one?
As far as I could see. Maybe he got separated from his group, or he was just running scout. Either way, he won't be running his mouth.
That's true. Although if he is a scout, you know, I guess it depends how much they follow through. Or if they decide if the scout doesn't come back, too dangerous an area.
Who knows?
Hmm.
More of them that are dead and don't come back is better for all of us.
Yeah, and less wakes we have to attend. Have there been many kindred deaths on our side since all this started?
Couple casualties. Couple deaths.
Not many that were part of one of the important folks' coteries.
Well, you say that, but one or two of the venture did fall.
In battles, or were they also?
Well, near as I understand it, there have been skirmishes all over town, right? Nothing ever goes clean.
True, but there's some that have been skirmishes, and then there have been some that have been on their own that get ambushed at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, I understand that it wasn't an ambush, just when the groups get sent in to go clean up and burn down a building, not everyone comes back out. That's why there's
Valid.
usually such a turnover rate for sheriffs in most cities.
Makes sense. Pretty impressive that Vega is held out for so long.
Well, as I understand it, she got pretty used to doing that during some of the long-term campaigns back in Europe.
So not for lack of experience. Well, I'll start getting my stuff together, and Well, I obviously don't really know Jolene, but you can send her condolences from us.
Word of advice. Most Brujah don't appreciate proxy. Open invitation if you want to go.
Do we have to have our makeup on?
Err on the side of caution. Sometimes it's mixed company, sometimes it's not. Maybe there are some ghouls, maybe there aren't. Check first. You can always take the makeup off after.
Yeah, I gotta check with someone else first too. Alice?
And you see her face just pop up like a bit of a whack-a-mole thing for one of these like stripped out engine bays of a car that's on part of like a stripped out stack. What?
After you get your items, do you want to head to a Brujah gathering?
And you don't know of any blood-specific relationship between her and Lila, but you do notice that sort of split-face smile.
You have to have your makeup on.
And she sinks back down into the labyrinth of hollowed-out machines.
I guess we'll see you there. Just let us know where it is.
And if you take out your phone, he'll show you
The location.
But in order to not make waste of the scenario, you want to roll for what kind of stuff you can find?
Sure, I'm ready to botch that.
Mm-hmm. So there could be a few things that you could roll in terms of abilities. Drive in terms of
The car.
Yeah. Crafts, computer. Actually, no, this would be technology.
Technology, I have quite a few dots in.
Okay. Especially if you were interested in the 3D printer thing of you might find some broken pieces that you could sort of piecemeal from different sets of e-weights into one working model. If you wanted to go that route. And we won't worry about the car seat stuff. We'll say that as like that's probably kind of a given in this scenario. The other thing's more like that's the real meat.
Yeah.
So I'd say we'll put that out of 5. And
it's what in technology?
Either intelligence or wits both have some arguments.
I mean, if it's in intelligence, I'd probably be able to do that one.
Yeah, let's do intelligence. You're not really on a sharp clock, so...
That's a 5.
Yep.
It's only 6 successes, so I'm not sure what I'll get out of it.
the pride and elemental smugness of not having botched on such a thing that matters to you. You're not left cataplectic in any way. In fact, you are able to find enough disparate working parts of the same model that you can create one working one with some spare parts and even some starter filament that you could at least practice some of your ideas on before you have to go and, well, use that aforementioned P.O. box to garner more.
Mm.
And we'll say about the car seat stuff, they're not necessarily the same color as each other. You could either just like flat out replace the seat or just swap the upholstery. If you're looking to put seats in the back, you have to make a choice because you are talking about initially, this is not a like soccer mom van where
Yeah.
you're ferrying the whole group back and forth comfortably. This is like partly a surveillance van.
I'm saying in this case, I just want to update the seats so that
Okay.
they're not raggedy and ratted.
We'll leave it at that. If it's only the two seats, we can make it so they match.
Great.
So bit by bit, van's looking good.
Yay.
Now, what would Alice have found that would have made her journey worth the trip?
Oh, I botched the Alice roll, so I don't. She didn't find anything.
Because, Martel, you're a bit of a monster sometimes. What do you think would have been a good choice for her to find? My plan is to crowdsource a plan, you see.
Stuffed Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is her size.
I like where your head's at, and I'm going to riff off of that. Instead of that, it is a her size late 90s Darth Vader.
Nice.
The one that you would put the coins in.
The
one that the mechanism broke in the middle of the night, and now it's just, saying in this weird atonal sound.
I have you now.
Yeah. Just all kinds of like broken gibberish. And she is hugging this like it is her new stuffy. And it's taller than her. Like this would be like a good 4.5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you need any help getting that in the van?
She just like walks with it, just, and it's probably heavier than she is.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like holding it sort of like horizontally and just walking as if it's the same as a pillow.
Yeah.
Horse is strong with this one.
It's not heavy, it's just awkward.
Can you open the door?
Yeah. Open the door with my like delicately placed components that are like that are all like organized so that like when I get back to it, it'll be like I'll be able to know exactly where each part goes so that I
will say
my
that
job's already
with
started.
these successes, that this in no way compromises that. You're able to sort of direct her to arrange this in such a way that it's not a problem. Now, if you had botched, what I would have done is allowed you to get all of this stuff perfect, pristine, and then she would just sort of crunch it with whatever awful thing that you found.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I really feel so sorry for whoever her next door neighbor is.
You just start hearing it in the middle of the night.
I am your father.
Of course, I just imagine her bringing that to Amon and him just, nope, trash compactoring it right in front of her. And You do see the old man get on, well, kind of an old-timey, for most people, an older sort of Harley, but one that looks like it's been kept in good condition. You see him take the tarp off and, well, you can either follow me or meet me there.
Ready to follow, Alice?
And she is already hopping in the van and putting on her seatbelt. Waiting on you.
Just to confirm, she's sat in the passenger seat. Correct.
Just this once.
Great. Good. So I go in the driver's seat and I prep to follow Bucky.
And we can fade out from there.
Yep.
And check back in with Poppy, Artem, and Chris. Now the question is, Poppy has a four-door from what I recall.
Mm-hmm.
But do you go in one car? Do you decide to take your separate vehicles?
If I think Poppy will mention the wake funeral situation to them as well. It might be better if we take separate cars, because we could go after, pay our respects, and then we probably should head back home.
I like being able to leave when I want.
Same. Yeah. God, yeah.
Lewis said he was going to be there too. And he doesn't normally go to things.
Mm. Did he have any Brujah friends?
I don't know.
Well, he'll probably be glad that you're there then.
And I think Harlan's actually going to be there too. So
It might be good to check on him, you know?
yeah. There's something you want to share out of character over there?
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
I have you now.
Okay. So with Poppy not having any weapons to check out of the guardhouse, and Artem, you'd be briskly having the stakes handed back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to head out of Wormslow and back in towards the city. But as you head more towards sort of the sort of southwestish part of the core of the county, you're still properly within the city, but you're far from downtown. You do happen upon Havel's venue of the classroom. And as one would expect, you park in the back, where it's halfway between a parking lot and an alleyway in terms of how it looks. I'm assuming one of you, probably Chris, would have texted her and say, hey, we're on our way.
Yeah.
And as a result, she is putting or rather she's opening the door and waiting for the lot of you to walk in, rather than leaving a brick for some errant shithead to just sneak on in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of errant shitheads out there these days.
There are a lot of those, yeah. Bit of a problem. And I'm assuming, well, maybe not Artem, but Poppy and Chris probably go and quickly get changed. Artem's probably already dressed for this exact kind of thing by going out into the marshes.
Yeah.
So while those two very quickly get dressed, is there anything you want to say to Havel?
I think
And just something to think about. Poppy, if there's anything you want to say to Chris while you have a moment alone, you'll have that moment too.
In the language that she spoke to him the first time they met, he will ask, how have you been keeping?
Busier some nights.
You're out there with the rest?
Less than some of them would want me to, but yes.
Guess that's your choice, huh?
Well, we all have our favors to pull. Part of that is occasionally teaching you folk so that fewer of you are a liability, so I don't have to be in every scrap.
We're trying to learn.
She does look you up and down. Well, you seem to have all your pieces, so I guess it hasn't been going too bad for you.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any of the real ones yet. It's more what I'm worried about, but
At that, she actually does start to smile, but it's a little bit more in a knowing, slightly wistful expression. Like someone finally gets it.
Guys they knock over the head and turn, don't know who they are? Yeah, those guys haven't been too much trouble yet.
Very few of those make it days, weeks, let alone years.
Hell of a thing to survive something like that.
Have to
Get
think
real
about the ones
nervous.
that do.
Yeah. You're the old man in a profession where they die young or whatever.
That's more of an outlier. That's not normally how they make the long-term ones.
I guess that makes sense.
Those are just the fodder that they muster.
I'm familiar with the tactic.
How so?
I'm from Ukraine. History.
That she just sort of like pats you on the shoulder slightly. Is there anything else you want to share with her before I transition over? Okay. Poppy. Is there anything that you want to address or bring up with Chris in this slightly sartorially vulnerable moment?
Yeah, I mean, Poppy will offer as an in. Do you want me to braid your hair real quick just to get it out of the way? 'Cause she had just like put clips in her hair to get it out of her face.
She looks at you and she's like, yeah, I can't really. Clips could be good though.
Clips? I could do a clips. We could do a little. Just get it out of your face.
Yeah, go nuts.
Cool. And so Poppy goes in with these like little neon bobby pins. And while she's doing that, she's like, how you doing? You okay?
Oh, two minds, I guess.
Two minds, thinking.
I don't know if I want to be out there or not. And I kind of do, and I kind of don't.
There are two wolves inside you.
Oh, I don't.
No, that doesn't.
Not in
No.
this town.
No. That meme has a different meaning. I'm realizing now. I understand your hesitancy. I've simply been mentally avoiding this whole situation, which is super healthy, probably also. What does Artem think? Have you talked to him about it?
Bits and pieces.
He might be able to not that I know the dynamic y'all have with Alden really, but I bet he would look out for you, you know. Whatever you wanted to do.
And yeah, but okay, you've picked up on some shit with him, right? Artem?
Some shit? That he's a big softie who secretly loves glitter?
Yeah. I'm getting a little worried about him.
Why? Just the violence of it all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how someone can compartmentalize that hard. But I mean, it sounds like he's had to do that, like, forever.
Yeah, I think at this point it's not second nature, it's just nature.
I wonder if we figure out what he needs to do for fun. You know, like an outlet, like a proper outlet that's not, you know, being Sailor Moon, you know?
And at that
Fighting
point, that's
evil
when
by moonlight.
Yeah, okay. That's when she just was like, oh,
Maybe he needs to
good.
win love by daylight. We set him up with someone. I'm coping with comedy here, Chris. I'm sorry.
She just laughed. She's like, oh, yeah, let's get him together with the vet. That'll go well.
Ooh, terrifying. Terrifying. Or Bobby, the bodybuilder. Though I'm slightly invested in that.
Question out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if Chris has seen Heidi when they were all at Chuck's bar before.
Maybe, because I did meet her, like, outside the bar at one point.
I'm trying to remember who would have seen her, because I know somebody did.
I think
I
Kate.
think it was me.
Oh, you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just like,
and oop.
Meanwhile, in a different scene. It's like, I mean, you know where Sire is, right?
Yeah. It's unfortunate, really.
Yeah, have fun with that.
But yeah, maybe our undercover homework is to figure out a fun thing that Artem could, like, lose himself for a second in.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's like an old man gangrel sometimes, where he just wants to be left the fuck alone, but I don't think that's good for him.
It can't be good for most people that feel that way all the time.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. And he has his whole life ahead of him, so, you know, now would be the time to figure out what makes it work.
And that's where you catch a little bit of the flinch. Does he, though?
Have his whole life ahead of him? Listen, I hope so. I've gotten some reality handed back to me today about just the fact that we can cease to be.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
Law of averages, right?
Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, we get buff and swole and learn how to defend ourselves and also enjoy people's company and the beauty of things and cope with comedy.
And fail the
I-
Bechdel test. Got it, yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn. I'm a fake feminist. Ugh. We'll have a talk another time about a non-man.
Yeah. For now, let's go beat the shit out of something.
Yeah.
Okay. And as the Quattro rejoin, we can do this a couple of ways. We can either just do a few rolls to see how you're doing. You can pick your partners. In this case, does Poppy and Artem want to do some sparring? Because I don't think they've faced off with each other.
Yeah.
We have. If you're down, I'm down.
Yeah. Let's
Now,
go.
do you need to do any conversating when you're doing that? Or is this just the physicality of it all?
I feel like Poppy is mostly focusing on like doing really good defensive maneuvers, and so she may tell that to Artem ahead of time, just to be like, I mean, you saw what happened against the wall, so I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that.
I will say this to you is that as you're kind of lining up, I'll be ask you, Havel, like, what have you been running into? Have you been having any particular issues that you need to overcome? And it can be a case of, how do I get out of this? How do I deal with this?
Yeah.
So it's giving her
She'll
some direction for
definitely-
what the drills are going to be.
Great.
And if you're going to be partnering with Artem, she'll be partnered with Chris. So there's a few things that she will show both on Chris and have Chris do to her to show like the move, and then getting you to start to like switch off on doing that.
Mhm.
And then at first it'll be sort of like running around where you'll kind of like in a succession swap partners to get used to the different scales and strength levels and the leverages and how that changes, because you're facing very different body sizes and masses,
Yeah.
and the physics change, but the underlying principles don't. You will have to adjust based on who you're fighting.
Mhm.
So it's a kind of a good moment to have like very differently sized individuals. I think Chris is maybe a little bit taller than you. Like, how tall is Poppy again? She's like 5'5", 5'6".
Looks at character street 5'4".
Okay, so she's taller than that. She's maybe like 5'5", 5'6", but not by much. So, and I think part of that might just be hair.
Mhm.
So it's good to have someone that's your particular height, and then Havel's closer to like maybe like 5'9", 5'10", and Artem is Artem.
Very large.
And so what we'll do is we'll have you do some rolls. Instead of dexterity or strength, what we're going to have you do is intelligence and brawl, because this is more about learning.
I have no brawl.
It's okay. What's what we're here to fix. So, because you have been here a couple of times, doesn't matter how well you roll here. It could be a complete botch. It doesn't matter. Though you botching twice in one session would be fantastic. But failure in this sort of pursuit does not preclude growth. In fact, it informs it.
Just like life.
We'll see.
It's a part of learning.
But you have your whole life ahead of you, right? That's what we've been covering this session.
I love existentialism.
So, intelligence, brawl. We'll just... Because you have an instructor who is sort of drilling some of these things into both of you, we'll leave this at a 5 for the base roll, but because you don't have Brawl, this will be a 6 for you, Poppy.
Okay.
Oh dear.
No successes.
No successes.
I got 4.
You have 4. Okay. Had this been a botch, I would have said you would have some flashbacks. But it's more just you
Splashbacks.
are aftershocks.
Flashbacks to what exactly?
That's for the eventual
She's
Patreon.
just sort of
Something earlier this
conflating
week or something earlier today?
Yeah. She's just conflating events in her head with a tentacle around her neck going, harder, Primogen mommy.
Oh no. Not the lore of it all.
So, I'll say you are having a hard time, whether it's because of the trauma of it all just creating a block, or at least say because of Artem, the size is really messing up how you can really deal with this. He's not the only one that you're dealing with, but maybe it's just throwing you off in concert with the memory of the trauma creating issues. What I'm going to have you do is Havel will take you aside, noticing that the problem. And while she is shorter than Artem, she is about the same size as Laura was in her heels. So she's going to take a moment to basically specifically tutor you to try this again. So this will be at a 7.
Using my intelligence.
Now, here's the thing. Before you roll, do you want to use
I
willpower?
could. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll use a willpower. I'll pull a Smoggles.
That doesn't need to be a thing
Bed.
that we make a
Well,
verb.
Smoggles
That
would be
doesn't
multiple in
need
one
to.
night.
Yeah,
My puppy
yeah.
privilege is not here tonight, so we need to. All right. That is 2 successes.
Look at that. It's still a bit of a rocky stumble as you are trying to maybe overcome that initial emotional hurdle. But the repetition has a way of breaking through mental blocks, because after a while, it's just about replacing train of thought with individual steps. You start to anticipate the next step that has been decided for you. And in a way, it's a little like, at first, she's leading a dance, because she's basically having to put your hands where they need to be. So there is that hand on throat. It's not trying to, pop goes the weasel, but there is that initial trauma response.
Right.
But she is walking you through, telling you what to do while initially moving your hand for you. Just teaching you both like the footwork, and footwork is something that you are more innately familiar with. So that's maybe where you start cluing in, like, okay, this is where I move my feet, everything else can follow. And after a while, because in this sort of scenario, the person who is on defense eventually becomes the one who leads that particular dance.
Right.
You do get it once, finally, and it works. It's maybe a little sloppy at first, but just good again. And while you are not 100% confident that you could do this to anybody, you're at least learning the steps, you're learning the moves, the motions. And if you've figured out anything over the years, it's how to break down complicated things, little maneuvers, into individual steps of a long form process. This, ultimately, is just one move.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. But as you are going through all of this, is there anything that you want to bring up either with Havel or with Artem when you have lulls or when you're focusing on something?
Yeah, if we have like a break where we're having some water, whatever. I guess not water. Oh, not water. Just hanging out, looking not sweaty because who knows? Vampires. Poppy will kind of jokingly go to Artem and be like, "So what do you do for fun?"
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I mean, read, listen to music,
Okay. What do you like to read?
books.
Well, yes. Books are great.
Um, I don't know.
I've never read a book in my life, actually, so.
Excuse me. I've read a book in canon.
Yes, canonically, you have read a book.
Mhm.
A book.
Hey, that's
The
more than
Bible.
everybody else. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's been a lot of business since we've been here,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm, as your friend,
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that when you are not being Sailor Moon, you are, I don't know, getting to do things that you love. She fights evil by moonlight. She is the one named Sailor Moon. Did you not have that in Ukraine? It's like an anime.
I don't think we had that one, no.
I think you'd recognize her. It's whatever. I know
This better
that
not
you've.
awaken anything in me.
Now that's some fan art I'd love to see. Artem in a little Sailor Scout. Ding.
Mm.
No, as a friend, I just want to make sure that you get to rest sometimes. And, like, I don't know. You're, like, the opposite of me in this whole situation where it's taken me until today to even take the Sabat thing seriously, to be honest. And you've been on the front lines, as it were. And I've been kind of frivolous and stuff. But maybe you need a little frivolity. So if there's anything I can help you with as your frivolous friend, I would love to, I don't know, make sure you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, let's actually. So, because Artem has been at Clarice's house, like fixing the wall,
Doing work.
Right. Well, yes, but do you have any interest in, like, I don't know, fixing houses or doing any shit like that?
I mean, interior design is like a secret love of mine. You should see my Pinterest. But, like, I could learn how to fix houses. I'm crafty.
Okay. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that tomorrow, and then after that, I should be free. You want to just, like, go get drinks or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Or we could go to, like, a bookstore or something before it's, like, closed down. I don't know if I'm pushing the book agenda on you just because you mentioned books.
Maybe we could just do Okay. All right.
So
you know
out
what?
of
I'll
character-
figure out what I want to do. and
Out
I'll
of
let you
character,
know.
I will remind you that Heidi has her showcase tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow?
Mhm.
Oh.
That's fine. We
Maybe
can do it day after.
You can take Artem to an art show,
But then.
but then you'd be blending your worlds together in a really
Then
fun
my
and
worlds.
delightful way.
Graham, my worlds become smoothie. Okay, so like tomorrow night may not be good.
That's fine. It might not be good for me either.
Okay, but like let's like put a plan in motion
Okay.
to keep you from burning out or combusting in on yourself like a dying star, you know?
A very poetic way to put it.
Sure. Okay, try to punch me again.
Okay. All right, we're going to the wall again.
To the wall. To the window. Just kidding.
That we did have in Ukraine.
Would you like to roll to punch Poppy?
Yeah.
Not particularly, but at the GM's discretion, I will.
Excellent.
I would say because it is an instructional atmosphere still. She might be still like, okay, so now we're over this grapple thing. Let's have you do combo or dodge. So we're just going to have this as an intelligence and roll. And it's going to be a 6.
6.
No, actually, because it's a teaching thing like we covered earlier, it's going to be a 5.
5.
It was a 6 earlier because Poppy doesn't have Brawl. But because of all this, I would say that if you have the experience and you would like to, you have justified spending on that if you'd like.
Wait, what?
For Poppy, if you'd like to buy yourself a Brawl.
Oh, I would. How much is a brawl these days?
If it's a 0
Victoria's
right now,
Secret.
it's a 3.
Okay, it's a 3.
So Artem,
shall do so.
how bad do you punch the Poppy?
I rolled 4 again.
You rolled 4.
Sorry. Give me this.
I actually rolled 2 5s, so that mattered a lot.
I would say in this instance, because of the training aspect of it, it's a... If Poppy's the intended recipient, she's either wearing pads or the punch mitts there to catch the intended things, which does help with Poppy, like learning her footwork in this particular arena. So Artem is striking true, but in a way that feels like he's actually getting a little sharper. That the recent combat experience has been working for him. And also, Poppy is learning her footing, which is very important. And perhaps more importantly, we're going to have Poppy do one more roll of stamina and athletics.
Okay.
We'll leave this at a 5.
Two successes.
2 successes. You feel sure on your feet than maybe you were expecting. You do feel maybe your toes slightly rise off the floor on a couple of the hits, but you are not losing your footing. For a moment, it feels like you would, but either he is exercising a certain amount of control, or you are more spry and athletic than maybe you realize because of all the sort of, well, the aforementioned criming that you have done before has left you primed for this part of the job. The bob and the weave and standing your ground appropriately. Yes.
Can we say that as part of the success is Artem is also able to be just like very encouraging and instructional himself? Like obviously the teacher is Havel, but he's no stranger to a gym. So for small things, he's able to be like, here, put your foot there at this time instead of this, like,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
I'd say
And also
again, that
just
would feed
not
in.
being a dick.
I would say this is also what's leading into Poppy being able to justify the expenditure. And I'll say with the intended encouragement of using your success to teach someone else slightly is, do you have anything in leadership?
I do.
I'd say it's a little harder to justify continued expenditure, but you are on the road to justifying further.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to cover before we fade out of this particular scene?
So 2 days from now, you, me, somewhere.
Yeah, something fun.
Okay.
Just to get you away from, yeah, you know.
Well, thanks, Poppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's check back in with Cora.
Sure, right.
Due to the wibbly wobbly nature of things, you are still at Elysium as people are starting to, or part of your coterie has started to leave. You have been instructed to, well, for one thing, figure out how to do some racing. And not
Yes.
either to intentionally get caught in such a way that you don't get caught, or don't get caught at all. You have, well, access to Titus,
I do.
but you also have a complication of you're not quite sure how long you're stuck there, if you are stuck there, and the person that you would ask has disappeared into a meeting.
Yes.
And as perhaps you are pondering that almost as serendipity, a message does come in on your phone. Busy. Made other arrangements. You are free.
I will just say thank you, ma'am. Have a good evening. Have a safe trip home.
No further follow-up.
If she wants to tell me anything about what happened in there, she will. It's not my place to ask. So.
Corporate Cora, the one who figures it out.
And Matilda really brings her out for some reason.
Can't imagine why.
So yeah, now that I know I'm free, I can either meet up with Titus or try to have a couple of little conversations around here, I suppose, before we go.
I'll tell you this. I'll let you have one conversation here.
Okay.
And who would that be?
Yeah, well, so I have some options
Okay.
for you potentially. They're all fairly short, but fairly different. So I either want to talk to maybe Leland, maybe Liv, and maybe Belle.
I'm going to say no for Leland at the moment because you would have seen him earlier at Bethesda.
Right.
When you were dropping something
Yes,
off.
I was working tonight.
Yeah.
So.
So who would you like to prioritize?
Let's go talk to Liv.
Okay. So you know it can't be too long because you're meant to link back up with Titus.
Yes.
And to expedite this a tiny bit, I'm assuming there's a little bit of text tag asking, hey, are you around, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you get back, I'll be at the house shortly. And she says, meet me out front.
I can do that.
And not more than maybe like 5 minutes goes by before the car pulls up, but you see driving from the direction of the cottages,
Of course.
but more specifically, probably the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And she does park and get out, wearing, I'll say, fairly stylish but used overalls.
Sure.
Like the latches are down, t-shirts out, and she has a little bit of dirt on her like forearms, but not on her hands as she's taking off gloves. I needed a break, but I can't be gone for too long. What's up?
Of course. I really like those.
Well, gets the job done.
So, cultivating anything interesting tonight?
Oh, the usual. That's not why you asked me out here, is it?
No, not really. Uh, I was actually thinking, would you want to go on like a ghost tour with me sometime? I know you mentioned you were busy the other night, but I thought maybe it could be fun. You know, we can't go to museum really, but that's something that's open. You can learn a bit about Savannah history.
It's kind of a museum, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
She does sort of like, okay, there's a few that might be interesting. Depends on how we're feeling that night. A couple of them I have been on. I mean, I've been here a while, but let me think on a good one.
Yeah, give me one where you found something the first time.
Some of the cemeteries are interesting. If you really want to get a little spooky about it, I know people are a little weird about cemeteries, even some of us. Yeah, we'll see.
I may have helped a fence into Bonaventure once.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that next time then.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a few downtown ones. I'm gonna be honest, they're a little bit lame, but could be good for a laugh.
But yeah, exactly right. I know people are a little on edge with all of this about things going on, but life can't stop just because of that, you know?
It's a nice sentiment. Yeah,
But yeah, maybe something in town's probably a safer bet.
Yeah, Bonaventure would be really interesting, but maybe right now that might be rolling the dice a bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll get back to you. There's one or two I think maybe I'll have to consider.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Are you going to be headed up north later too? I know there's a few of us who are going to be.
I would. I do have a few other things to kind of take care of tonight. I know Paul and Hattie are supposed to be there.
Oh, okay, good. I'll say hi when I see them.
Well, it'd be nice if someone other than Hattie kind of acknowledges Paul.
And out of character, I don't believe I've met Hattie, have I?
No. Artem, I think you may have seen her, but you may not have had a name attributed to her. Artem would be, I think, the only one that would have seen her, has a name attached to her, and has seen her do anything.
Right. I don't think the name Hattie's come up before. Who's that?
If you see an older lady dressed real well, looks like a gangster from like the 1920s.
It's kind of cool, actually. Was she?
Ask her yourself.
I will do that.
But yeah, kind of looks around for kind of like almost like a den mother.
Cool.
Between her and Max, they tend to look after the youngers.
That's a really good thing to have.
It means something slightly different with us.
Ah, I see. How so?
Teaching.
Mentors are an important thing too.
That they are. Cora, I want you to roll perception empathy.
I would love to.
I'm going to have you roll that with a 5 based on some prior interactions with her.
Sure. Come on, Cora, you're good at this. You are good at this. Okay. 5 was the right number for me, because I have a lot of that. So let's see. And a reroll. Okay. 5 successes.
5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
The mention of mentor specifically causes not so much a twitch, but a glassiness to the eyes that wasn't there a moment ago, and also is gone just as soon as you see it. And for a moment around her ring finger, you see a non-existent vine start to grow into reality, coil around her finger, and then dissolve almost as soon as you've noticed it.
Huh. You went somewhere for just a second.
Oh, long night. To which you know, based on that roll, that's not untrue, but far from the whole truth.
Sure.
There's something being hidden. And it's kind of a situation where you both know that she's hiding something, but in a way that's like socially aware, but saving face kind of thing, or at least it's up to you to allow her to save face.
Yeah, I'm not gonna press tonight, but I know I've got something that maybe we can talk about if later down the road. So, before I let you get back to it, what about our joint project?
Slow, but how are things on your end? Got some names.
Sure. I think I let you know the crew, didn't I?
Thought I would check.
Yeah. Things are going well with us. Went out together. There's still some leftover dirt in my car. Trying out a tracker. Seems to do the trick.
Everyone survived?
Yes, we're all in one piece.
Out of character, considering that Artem was the one most viciously attacked and he was very much in one piece. Not that you were lying in the first place, but it's just so excruciatingly the truth.
Does Olivia
has a
get to roll
keepsake.
against me because of my very specific wording?
Hopefully with all the other things going on, you don't run into one of those while you're at it.
Yeah, it's... Hopefully it arrives when we are fully prepared.
Well, try not to hope too hard.
Right, of course. I don't want to monkey's paw the thing into existence at the worst time.
No. She just put a little hand on her right hand on your right shoulder. Too much hope becomes tragedy. Plan for reality. The inevitable. And is there anything else you'd like to say to her before she gets back to work?
Gosh.
You do have another thing to do, so it's...
I guess not then, yeah.
No,
I'll
I'm just saying you have another thing to get to, so this isn't your only scene.
Yeah. I will just take in that advice. Well, I'll hope for an interesting ghost tour then. That's probably not too big of a thing.
Well, they do say it's the most haunted city, right?
Exactly.
And with that, she is getting back into her car.
Does Titus happen to be in the parking lot as Olivia's leaving?
I would say at some point you could have texted him to say that we're good to go, see you outside.
Perfect, yeah.
So he's walking back out as she's driving off. All right, so what's the verdict?
I'm free for the rest of the night. Would you want to ride together, or how do you want to go?
Well, as much as I kind of want to just see what you can do up close.
Yeah. You did once say you'd maybe give me an opportunity to get involved in some of your off-track activities after I won the last race.
You think you can keep, excuse me, let me try that again. It's getting a little late. You think you can keep up with me?
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Looks over at the... What was it again? It was like a Nissan Z car of some...
I've got a Z. I've got a very recent model year Z.
Okay.
So that's very neat. And I believe we've got a manual too, which means he's got the Nismo version of it, so that's pretty cool.
He flips his car, and you see it's a few down. You remember his sort of project car was stripped down, overwrought,
He was
Holden
Australian,
Monaro.
yeah.
And you would expect him to have something like that, or something maybe mid-engine Exotica, because he did F1 of some repute at some point. But he's driving a Ford GT.
Okay.
In all blue, like metallic blue, with the single white stripe down the side, not two go fast stripes down the hood.
Well, that's a quintessential version of something.
Well, I know you got that turbocharged, whatever you call it, and I just have the American slab on wheels. Let's see if you can keep up.
Happy to accept the challenge.
Now, as you get into your cars, and we're not going to be going for too much longer.
Yeah, of course.
But Well, first question.
Mhm.
Do you try and gun it down the laneway to the gate, or do you have some restraint?
No. In fact, I think I will let Titus know that I need to pick up something I left at the gatehouse.
Mm-hmm.
If we can start maybe just outside the main gate.
He says, tell you what, we'll get a mile down the road before the
Perfect.
highway.
Yeah,
Then we'll
keep
start.
pace with each other and then get started.
Last thing we need to do is draw attention to the front gate.
Good point.
Again, as he sort of walks over and starts to rev up the engine.
Has he heard?
He could be referring to you. He could be referring to himself. You don't know. Flouncy Toreador gonna flouncy.
I'm gonna send, also when he says that, it's gonna remind me of something really quick, so I'm very quickly gonna send a text message to Gerhardt saying, hey, could you get a classic Fistful of Dollars poster for me from Italy? I need a peace offering. Thinking about Bruno.
Mm. She couldn't have just gone online and figured that out.
Well, I want one from Italy, and the shipping's gonna be, you know, pain in the ass, so.
Doesn't mean anything if you don't get it yourself, but all right.
It does, because I had the idea. Like,
Mhm.
this would be really cool. What a piece of memorabilia in the original
It's called
language.
delegation.
Gerhardt's not your ghoul. In any case, we'll adjudicate that later.
Okay, sure.
So, you have a couple of rolls to make. As you know, I'd say you would have figured out the location that you have to go to. Maybe not racing to the exact spot where the Brujah Bush party is happening. Maybe more of a, say, like the parking lot at the hotel that's there.
Sure.
So, obviously, this is going to be drive,
Mm-hmm.
dex,
Uh-huh.
celerity.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna feel too big for my britches because I am racing Titus right now, so despite my high dice pool.
Mm-hmm. So, because you are racing against someone who is more familiar with the roads.
Yes.
Now, you've spent a fair amount of time familiarizing yourself. He's been doing it over years. So, I'm going to leave you at a 6, but he's going to be rolling at a 4.
Ouch. Okay.
So, we're going to do this as a best of 2 out of 3.
Okay. May I use blood to up my reflexes?
So you would like to spend blood to add to your dexterity.
Yeah, just a single one.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna be rolling lots of dice.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got my dex, my drive, and
I'll say this is
celerity.
actually closer to a 5 for difficulty, not a 6.
okay. So then we're gonna be doing. Yeah, this is a good dice pool.
For the audience at home, how many dice are you rolling?
I am rolling 9 dice.
Really?
That's amazing.
Go for it.
I have you now.
I'm really afraid of getting like a mega botch because this is a lot of dice.
Are you rolling willpower or adding willpower?
I haven't dropped them yet. I could.
You better do it now before you roll.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's start
Mark
off
it on your
strong.
sheet first.
If I'm gonna have a botch, let's not do it right outside the main gate.
To be fair, a mile down the road, then you're starting, so at least you're not flailing and flubbing it in front of, Julius.
It's just immediately careen through the gate.
Oh no, the fledgling died.
Okay, here we go. All right, this is great. I did a great job. That canceled out my 10, so we don't have that. But then we got 6.
8 and I have a 10. I'm not going to bother to reroll.
Titus. All right, is that enough to keep up?
It's enough.
Oh, and you know what? I didn't add my willpower, so that's a 7.
Okay. It's enough that you are only half a car length behind.
Okay.
I have a theory that app doesn't roll below 4 successes at any given point.
Graham has been
He-
very successful with that.
There's a boss mode button that he can press.
Yeah.
For when...
Legendary actions. and
He's a
BTM?
primary
Question.
investor.
I
in the
want
app.
that.
I have told you before. He is also rolling at a lower difficulty,
This is true.
and he has a decent amount of dice.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that one dropped, but it landed.
So you're not
I'm gonna
rolling
have to
willpower
accept
this
it.
time, yep.
Huh?
You're not
Not
adding
this time.
willpower.
Yeah. Okay. I did have another 1 cancel out one of mine, so this one was just 4.
4 successes. He got 8 again. with
Oh
a
my
1,
god. Okay.
destroying one of his 10s. Now the question I have for you is the way to turn this into part of the storytelling is
Yeah.
you are perhaps a little more self-conscious and hyper-aware
Yes.
of cops adjoining streets. This is where the time and experience in the city seems to be paying off for him, where you know the city, you know the streets, but you don't know the natural rhythm of them as well as he does. He
It's
seems to know
true.
exactly how to fly through certain intersections with utter abandon, no fear. You're having to hesitate, you're having to think ahead and anticipate things that you're less sure of at speed. And you're having to take into consideration cops that might be sort of perched in one place or another. You're having to take in consideration, wait, are there traffic cams here? I don't remember.
There are some. Yeah.
But anyways,
But yeah.
you are having to take these things in consideration, and either he already has or he doesn't care. Either way, he is committed to his bullshit in a way that you are not at present able to do.
And I think too, I'm so used to driving these streets as a courier and really being hyper into thinking about those things that I'm sure
Mhm.
that like that
It's
parking
playing
brake is
against you.
trying to pull itself. Yeah.
So I'll say, as you're getting to the bridge, he is a decent amount ahead of you. And going back to, I know, a movie that gets referenced a fair amount of, doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And he's got a good lead on you.
Yeah.
So we're going to do one more. Same DC.
Yes, and I'm gonna spend a willpower. Do we have a chance before the bridge for me to try to take a shortcut?
Well, we'll see how you roll.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, okay. This bodes well. I got an 8 this time.
You got 8 successes.
Yes. No ones to cancel anything out this time, which did happen the last times.
You got 8, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
6.
Yes. Oh, catch back
Nice.
up. Come on, Cora.
Now, that being said, we did say this is going to be 2 out of 3.
Oh, I again did not count my willpower that I spent. That was all on the dice.
Mhm.
9.
Very good. Now, I would say that this is a case of, because we had established this is going to be 2 out of 3. This is not going to be, say, an embarrassing loss. This is not a moment where you have spun out and you are left behind. It's more a case of you made up time in a few places that were maybe unexpected. Maybe because you're learning how to drive slow in some of these areas, you know when to drive fast. At least in a couple of these small little pockets. Maybe it's the car simply being able to gun a little bit more than his can, but ultimately, he's still ahead.
Yes.
But instead of a mile between you and that awful moment of when you're watching the stopwatch of after the first person crosses the line and yours keeps counting, it's half a second difference. You're almost on his bumper. But you have careened up to the start of the parking lot of the Venture Whip's primary domain on Hutchinson Island. But since no crash has happened, not a big deal. Traffic has all kinds of race cars, street or otherwise, have done this exact thing on their way to the track, so this is almost expected. And as he spins the car around so that you are driver side window is against driver side window, it's like, not bad, not bad.
Cora's gonna laugh out loud and goes, "Yeah, you're not too bad yourself, old man."
Oh, now I'm gonna have to make you eat those words. And he flicks out, does a J turn, and just tire smoke obfuscating your vision as he's heading towards where he said he was gonna go.
All right.
And I think on that squeal of tire and smoke blooming into your vision is a good time for us to call it quits for tonight. Join us next week for our, I guess, slight summer hiatus as we go on break for a couple of weeks afterwards. But until then, see you next week, folks.